evening and welcome to the 2025 OHL Cup Final live from the Mattamy Athletic Center here in downtown Toronto. I'm your host, Joelle Wood, joined by panel analyst Dylan Baker. Dylan, an all GTHL final tonight. How excited are we for this matchup?
We're really excited about this matchup, Joelle. Like you mentioned, an all GTHL final, which makes things even more exciting. These two teams have matched up 3 times in the regular season. The first game, a 2-1 Don Mills win. The second game, a 3-2 Toronto Junior Canadiens win. The third game ended in a tie. So 3 really back and forth matchups as we get a look at our bracket here for the OHL Cup. The Junior Canadiens making it all the way to the finals after beating Little Caesars yesterday. Don Mills taking down Sun County, and Toronto on the way.
It's been a journey for both of these teams here tonight with intense semifinal matchups occurring last night. Let's take a look at the action.
Yeah, last night the Don Mills Flyers in action taking on the Toronto Titans. It was a back and forth game. The first goal in that contest scored by Charlie Sullivan on a shot from the blue line that just kind of found its way through traffic. In the second period, it was more for Don Mills. They continued to apply the pressure. Charlie Murata was able to score his first of the tournament. He's been racking up the assists, but that was his first goal of the OHL Cup, giving Don Mills a 2-1 lead. The third period belonged to the Flyers. Noah LaGambina was absolutely stellar for Don Mills in the game. Richard Wang was able to score a couple of goals for Don Mills en route to victory. Wang tied for the tournament lead in defenseman goals with 4. You get a look at the stats on your screen. Don Mills dominated that contest. 36 shots in the game. Did not get a power play. Still managed to put up 5. They've put up at least 4 goals in 5 of their 6 games up to this point.
Well, we're in for an action-packed game tonight as both the Don Mills Flyers and the Toronto Junior Canadiens chase an OHL Cup victory after the break.
My OHL helps bring charitable programs to life. Started McFadden's movement in my 4th year with the Guelph Storm. Had a family friend die by suicide. Learned from a young age that mental health was important, and having a lot of help from the organization in the Guelph Storm has definitely shaped McFadden's movement into what it is. I'm really happy with where things have ended up.
McDavid has a chance in front. Look at that move! Oh, baby! That's what they came for this afternoon, folks.
Here's McDavid, short-handed, on a breakaway, found on his feet. McDavid scores!
Take your game to the next level with the OHL Performance Development Program. Development sessions begin April 27th in 7 cities across Ontario. Sign up at ontariohockeyleague.com.
OHL Live on CHL TV.
What a goal by Michael Misa!
Every goal.
What a rip!
Every save.
What a save by Oscar!
On every device.
Nothing gets better than that!
Here's the rookie. Schaefer shoots and scores.
In every market.
Back in Seneca scores!
All season long.
Green Tree went through! Green Tree scores!
Subscribe now at watch.chl.ca. OHL Live, the home of every OHL game.
Complex entrance into this tournament as they faced off in another intense semifinal battle last night. Let's take a look.
They faced off with the Detroit Little Caesars squad last night in their semifinal matchup, Joelle. A really, really good game, back and forth all throughout. 2-2 after 1, 4-4 after 2 periods. In the third, it belonged to the Junior Canadiens. Jax Pereira had 2 goals in the second period that kind of shifted the momentum in that game. As we take a look at some of the highlights from that contest for the Junior Canadiens, a shot from the far circle that opened the scoring for Toronto, a wraparound, great pass in front. That one a shorthanded goal off the stick there of Laus, who had a great game, scored a pair of goals in that contest. Tyler Bruce, Jax Pereira also had 2 goals for the Junior Canadiens, so 3 players putting up a pair of markers for Toronto. And like we mentioned, the third period belonged to the Junior Canadiens. It was Bruce who scored the go-ahead goal, which became the eventual game winner, as the Junior Canadiens were able to hold off the Little Caesars squad and really just kept racking up the goals in the third period after a very back-and-forth first 40 minutes. Between the pipes, they were stellar as well. 31 shots, 30. Pretty even matchup despite the score. The Junior Canadiens really had to battle to get into this position in the final.
We're in for quite the GTHL matchup tonight as Mark and Adrian take us away.
Evening, everybody. It is a big-time feel here tonight at the Mattamy Athletics Center, the hallowed grounds of Maple Leaf Gardens, and it's been said many times, a lot of big moments have happened here. Well, in 2025, we will add another one. The Junior Canadiens and the Don Mills Flyers coming up. Mark McKelvey, Adrian Musso, and Adrian, as we look at tonight's matchup and we look at these two teams, it's no surprise that in this OHL Cup final, there is high-end talent on both sides. Players that'll hear their names called very early in just a couple of weeks at the OHL priority selection. So let's take a look at our players to watch, and we'll start first with the Don Mills Flyers. When you talk about high-end talent, you don't have to look much further than Charlie Murata.
Charlie Murata could go very high in this draft, if not #1 overall. He's a high-skilled right-handed shot centerman for the Don Mills Flyers. He scored his first goal. It was the game winner against the Toronto Titans yesterday afternoon. He's a playmaker by choice. The only player that has more points on his team is Lyndon Cabral. And for the Toronto Junior Canadiens, Tyler Bruce. Not the high-end name on that list. He plays on the second line with Keaton Ardag, and he had 2 big goals yesterday. The first goal and the game winner early in the third period. But the biggest moment of the game, early in that second period, he threw a huge hit at center ice. It changed the tide, got the Little Caesars team off onto their heels, and that's when JRC really took advantage of that game.
Well, as we were getting set for tonight's game, we were speaking with the coaching staff for the Don Mills Flyers. They're a little banged up here. Maybe not going to be the deepest of benches as this game goes along, and you know the Toronto Junior Canadiens are going to try and exploit that with their speed. So when you talk about what we could see here tonight, let's think about it. If you had to make one prediction, what do you expect? I know I'm expecting this game to be run and gun.
I would expect a really fast and physical game, too. Two teams that really don't like each other, GTHL opponents and rivals at times, and it's two teams that like to play with a lot of pace. So that Don Mills Flyers, the JRC knows that they're injured. They're going to go after them and try and bang them up a little bit more. Well,
last week it was the Don Mills Flyers securing the GTHL Championship. They defeated the Toronto Titans in 5 games, and as fate would have it, they met in last night's semifinal. The Junior Canadiens, they got upset. They were the 3 seed in the GTHL playoffs. They lost in round 1. Well, they have found their way now to the final game of the OHL Cup. It doesn't get much bigger than this. U16 AAA all on the line tonight. The spotlight is here for the OHL Cup Final, and it's coming up after the national anthem. All right, here we go on this Friday evening. Welcome inside the Mattamy Athletics Center as it all comes down to this. The 2025 OHL Cup concludes the championship game between the Toronto Junior Canadiens and the Don Mills Flyers. The Don Mills Flyers, the GTHL champions, the Junior Canadiens, an opportunity at a bit of redemption. And how about this? Go all the way back to Monday morning. They had to win a wild card game to secure their spot in the OHL Cup. And just a few days later, they find themselves with all the eyes on them tonight in this championship contest. Mark McKelvey and Adrian Musso with you. And Adrian, we've talked about it. We're expecting run and gun, high octane, a physical game tonight. The question mark is, do the Don Mills Flyers have enough left in the tank?
That's exactly it. They played a lot of hockey in this past month, winning the GTL Championship in a 5-game series against the Toronto Titans. Now they go up and they have a 7 games in 5 days here in Toronto at Scotiabank Pond and now at the Mattamy Athletic Center. It's going to be an interesting one, and here we go.
All right, we're all set. The puck is dropped in. We are underway. The 2025 OHL Cup Final. And the Toronto Junior Canadiens trying to dump things in right off the opening bat, as there will be a dump in from behind the red line, so we'll get a quick icing call, an opportunity to talk about tonight's starting netminders. It's Noah Lagambina for the Don Mills Flyers. He's been their horse throughout this tournament, and his counterpart is Hudson Ciccelli.
Noah Lagambina has a 1.06 goals against average and a 945 save percentage in this tournament, whereas Ciccelli is 218 and a 913 save percentage.
Big hit at the blue line as the puck's going to be held in here by the Don Mills Flyers. Now grabbing control is George Raymond. The big defender goes up the left wing side, just gets it out, and it's quickly turned ahead now. Overskated, though, at the line by Cameron Warren. And when you talk about high-end talent, you have to talk about him. Here's a chance now for Lincoln Edwards. He cuts into the middle, try to drop pass. It's taken away, and a possible 2-on-1 the other way. It's Sam Roberts down the right side. Passes across. They score! In the opening minute, the Junior Canadiens strike, and it's Keaton Ardaugh that makes it 1-0.
On a 2-on-1, Sam Roberts finds a lane and slides it over to Jax Pereira. Pereira, who had 2 goals in the game yesterday, is able to squeak it right by the outstretched Lagambina. And early on, just 44 seconds into this game, JRC take the lead.
Check that. Jax Pereira, 6-0. Keaton Ardaugh with 3 goals in the tournament. Well, Jax Pereira had 3 coming into tonight. You can give him now 4, and it's 1-0, just like that for the Toronto Junior Canadiens. So striking like that, that'll put the Don Mills Flyers on their heels here, and they'll try to respond quickly now as Tyler Lee's going to work the puck in deep. Sent behind the net, and it'll come up around the right wing side. There is Ardaugh. He was trying to clear it out. Lee gets to it in the corner, goes behind the net for Evan Nicholson. Side of the goal, there's a chance. They score! A quick response from the Don Mills Flyers. Tyler Lee ties the game.
Miscommunication behind the net leads to the tying goal by Tyler Lee, his 2nd of the tournament, and it's an opportune moment. He pounces on that loose puck as a turnover. Ciccelli's looking the other way. He slides it into the open net. 1 minute and 8 seconds into the first period. Mark, you talked about a high-scoring game. It's already 1-1.
Well, last year's OHL Cup Final, it was just a 1-0 game as Oakville defeated Vaughan. And here tonight, in the opening minute and 10 seconds, each side has been able to strike, so a 1-1 game. Both teams had the offense going in the semifinals and throughout the course of this tournament. Here's a shot from the high slot. That one was blocked. Trying to get that one to the net was Charlie Murata. Played to the front of the Junior Canadiens goal, and they're just going to clear it out. Sent ahead there by Jackson Bodner. The race is on to get to this one. Leaning in on it is Haggerty as he was trying to get that puck away from Tommy Cutt. Now passed out into the neutral zone. And it's going to be an attempt of a dump in there from Meme. Didn't get it at first, but he'll follow it up, and he skips that one in on goal. Picked up now by Raymond. Passed out into the neutral zone, and it's going to be dumped in by Loss. In pursuit is Sam Roberts. He had the helper, setting up that 2-on-1 goal for Jax Pereira. Now coming around the boards. It's going to get bobbled there. Near turnover from the Don Mills Flyers, but they'll recover in the neutral zone. Loss is coming back as Cabral was able to poke the puck free, and it's passed across now to Richard Wang. Wang got the red line and dumps it in. Ciccelli out to leave that puck behind his own goal. Raymond trying to move it along. He's pinned up on the boards, able to dig it free, and he'll make the pass up the left wing. Loss through center ice. Stepping up, there's a hit at center as getting knocked down was Warren, and that's going to put the Junior Canadiens in offside.
Cameron Warren is going to be a marked man for the Don Mills Flyers today, as he's been one of the leading scorers for the Toronto Junior Canadiens all season long. He's going to be looking to be one of the hot hands and potentially the #1 overall picks. And they need to play a little bit. As we look at the keys to the game for both teams, the special teams dominance for the Don Mills Flyers has been apparent all tournament. Their power play is kicking at 33%.
Alex Kuhlman was trying to cut into the middle, and he got upended as he returns into the lineup. Got banged up in this OHL Cup, and it wasn't a certainty that he would play here tonight, but he is available. Of course, the son of former NHLer Nikolai Kuhlman. as the puck comes out to the right point. Passed across now to Tommy Cutt. Floats it on goal. Ciccelli's going to kick that one aside. Jumping on it is Tyler Bruce, and Bruce will get it out. His pass was deflected, and at center it's grabbed by Kuhlman. Starts it up, and he'll hand it off. Across the line now. There's a long wrister that didn't find the goal. Comes back to the left point for Cutt. Cut shot, can't get it around Ardaugh, who blocked that one. Ardaugh's going to head to the bench for a change along with Bruce. Chance for the Flyers to get the puck in. Nicholson on the follow-up, lets it go, was looking high short side, but missed the goal. The puck's going to trickle back out of the zone. It's sent back in here now by the Don Mills Flyers as they tag up, and they'll start a line change. Ciccelli left it off. Here's a long pass ahead for Maharaj, but he was a step ahead receiving that pass, so an offside call, and that'll send the face-off back into the Junior Canadiens zone. Both these teams 5-1 coming into tonight. Both suffered a loss, and sometimes that's not a bad thing, Adrian, to have a little bit of adversity throughout the course of a tournament.
Absolutely. It came in the round robin play, so it didn't cost them anything. They both finished atop of their group as well, so they were able to get home ice throughout the quarterfinals, and that loss to both teams, and one was to the TPH, who was an unbelievable team coming from the United States, and it just gives you that sense of, okay, now let's reset and let's get ready for that the quarterfinals.
So the Don Mills Flyers, their only loss was to TPH. I mentioned 4-1. Meanwhile, the Toronto Junior Canadiens, their only loss, a 3-2 defeat at the hands of the York Simcoe Express. So both those teams, I guess, kind of hoping that maybe the team they were able to knock off wins here tonight. Then they can have a bit of a claim to fame that they did beat the OHL Cup champion. There's a point shot that's wide. Follow-up opportunity bobbled there by Ciccelli. And there's another drive on goal, and that one's denied as Charlie Sullivan, who's got a cannon from the blue line, lets it go, but it's denied by Hudson Ciccelli.
Yeah, Charlie Sullivan got the scoring started in yesterday's game with a blast from the point, and he looks to try and get on the scoring sheet here in this one as well. A puck-moving defenseman that quarterbacks the power play for the Don Mills Flyers.
Has an impressive +8 rating coming into tonight's final game. 1 goal, 1 assist, which is a little surprising considering what he can do from the blue line for Sullivan. Flyers will clear it out into the neutral zone. It's bumped back by Cameron Warren. Raymond trying a lead pass for Loss, who will poke it over the blue line. Now flipped up ahead and grabbed here by Lincoln Edwards. He gives it back off to Murata, takes it into the corner, drops it behind the net. And maybe no surprise after that high-flying start that this game might start to settle in on both ways. Warren over the blue line, trying to drag that one through the defender's skates. Looking to go back to the point, but it's intercepted. Murata comes the other way, gives it off to Edwards. Edwards into the middle for Murata. Tried a backhand shot, got tied up by Raymond, however. And the puck is going to get kicked behind the goal. Edwards keeping it alive. Wong was surrounded there. There's a point shot. Steered towards the corner, but it hit the official's leg. So it sits right there, and it's going to be flipped up and out of play. And the Junior Canadiens might just take that as they'll get the stoppage, and they can make a line change.
A tired unit out there. This line of Warren, Roberts, and Pereira is a line that is constantly on the ice for the Junior Canadiens.
Face off to the right of Ciccelli. Lee on the face-off, has the equalizer. There's a shot, they score! Right off the face-off, back-to-back, just like that. And the Don Mills Flyers take the lead. Evan Nicholson with the go-ahead goal.
His 5th goal of the tournament is a lost face-off by the Toronto Junior Canadiens, and the Don Mills Flyers are going to take advantage. Tyler Lee, who has the opening goal, wins the draw, and then Nicholson just out-battles Ardaugh on that one, fires it through the 5-hole of Ciccelli, and the Don Mills Flyers take a 2-1 lead.
So a great response from the Don Mills Flyers after the Junior Canadiens scored in the opening minute. Here's Nicholson trying to find the puck in his skates as he'll take a check. Behind the net, big collision there. Tyler Lee is well engaged in this game. Now a hit in front of the Don Mills Flyers bench. And that puck is sealed up. Jax Pereira trying to poke that puck free, and he does. He fishes it out, dumps it into the near corner. Back to grab it is Cut. Cut's going to get pushed out by Pereira. Forechecking coming there from Maharaj. Maharaj a hit on Murata and gives him a bit of a second bump there to send him down to the ice. It's Cut. carrying it ahead. Deflected in now by Meme. Meme will give pursuit. Murata as well in on the forecheck. Digging in the corner. Murata was hit. Sent around the boards by Bodner. Cut off, however, and that goes the other side. Now it'll get out into the neutral zone. The Flyers will try and regroup as holding on to it is Cumming. Cumming able to shovel the puck in, and he'll give chase. Runs Quain into the end boards as Quain was just trying to pin that puck up. Tag team match behind the net. Flyers trying to get numbers in there, and they're able to dig it free. It's Murata heading out to the blue line, drops it off. There's a shot. That one was labeled for the top corner by Richard Wang. It didn't miss by a whole lot. A half-board battle. Sees the Junior Canadiens get it out. Maharaj, good job to corral the puck. Goes into the corner, was leaning in for the check, looking for a little bit of support. Near side now, and the Flyers have a chance just to pitch that puck out to center ice. It's Raymond. Moves it over now to Seth Wong. Wong gains the red line and dumps it in. Lagambina out to play it around the boards, trying to cut it off. Cameron Warren unable to get that puck cleanly, and it's back out to center ice. Here is Edwards. Edwards curls inside the blue line, trying to keep the puck in, and it's going to get swept out. Able to keep it alive, though. Here is Cabral. Cabral makes an extra move at the blue line. That'll put Edwards in offside. And we're going to have an opportunity to catch our breath. How about that start? The Don Mills Flyers have come back to take a 2-1 lead here in the OHL Cup Final.
My time in the OHL allowed me to prepare for life as a professional hockey player at a young age. The development opportunity players are provided by playing in the OHL is unrivaled. Support systems teams have in place help players immensely once they get to the next level. With the coaching, skill development, facilities, and attention the OHL provides, I believe it is the best hockey development league in the world.
And welcome back to the Mattamy Athletics Center. First period of the OHL Cup Final. The Don Mills Flyers, after surrendering the game's first goal, have stormed back with a pair of their own to lead this one 2-1. Shots on goal 8-1 in favor of the Flyers, who, for a lot of teams, giving up a goal in that first minute could have had them shell-shocked, but they really responded well.
Yeah, it's easy to lay back on your heels after you take the goal against just so early on in this contest, but they responded so very strongly and playing injured, but you can't really tell.
They turn the puck over as Laus will send it rink wide. Near side picked up now by Warren. He has it off the half boards to the point for Wong. Goes across now to Raymond. Top of the left circle, fires. It's bobbled in the blue paint. Junior Canadiens are trying to dig away. It gets pulled free here by Lincoln Edwards, and he's able to clear it out. Now Edwards steps down the wing, trying to throw it to the front of the net for a redirect. Here's Kuhlman. Kuhlman holding on to it, using that long reach to protect the puck. Goes back to the point. There's a shot just wide of the net. Picked up in the corner now by Seth Wong, and Wong will have a chance to outlet it. Puts it right onto the tape of Laus, and the captain of the Junior Canadiens is going to dump it in. Toronto was changing. It's held behind the net. The Flyers give the puck off to Charlie Murata. Didn't see anything there, so he curled back. Flipped up ahead, and it's going to be dumped right back into the zone by Brandon Chong. Opportunity. There's a chance for Ardaz. It was just sitting there, left for him in the slot. Here's a point shot. That one was blocked. Now passed up ahead for Tyler Lee. Lee, seeing who he's got with him. It's Nicholson going across a backhander, and that one's intercepted in front of the net. And quickly pushed ahead now by the Junior Canadiens. Don Mills Flyers trying to get the puck out. They brought it back in. Here's Jax Pereira, who had the game's opening goal. We thought the opening goal would be pretty big here tonight. Both these teams undefeated when they score the first goal of a game. Both 4-0. Richard Wang coming down the wing. Hot on his heels was Haggerty, so he'll just dump it in on net, and Ciccelli not going to take any chances as he freezes the puck and he holds on.
A good opportunity there for the Toronto Junior Canadiens to get this one all even, as Lagambina took a dump in, tries to play it, misses his defenseman, and then it turned onto the Junior Canadiens sticks. They couldn't take advantage of that one, and then the Junior Canadiens have 4 shots in the last minute and a half, trying to claw themselves back into this game.
Face off to the right of Ciccelli. And Controlled here by the junior Canadiens. Lucas Kwan gets the puck out. This one sent all the way down, a little too much on that one, and icing will be called. You heard Dylan talk about it off the top of tonight's broadcast, the fact that 3 meetings through the regular season and we're deadlocked. Each team has a win, and there was a tie in there. There's quite the familiarity between these GTHL rivals, which I'm not sure plays into either team's favor at this point at the end of a long tournament.
No, I'm not sure either. And when it comes down to it, too, the 2 games that were wins by both teams were 1-goal games. So they're all deadlocked, not only in 1-1-1, but also goals for and goals against, 2 very evenly matched teams coming here tonight.
Turnover by the junior Canadiens as Kuhlman will dump it in. We were told that Alex Kuhlman, he would dress, maybe only play a couple of shifts, but so far he's playing a regular shift for the Don Mills Flyers. As Murata comes across, gives the puck off to Cut, throwing it to the front of the net, nobody home. Loss has a chance to get it out, and he will. A backhander just a little too far ahead, so the Flyers will dump it back in. Cicelli going to leave the puck behind the net for Raymond. Raymond will reverse it, leaving it in the corner, and it's sent up ahead, out of the zone. Bump back to the point. From the Don Mills blue line, they get it to Kuhlman and loft the puck in. Quain is back to pick it up. Deep in his own zone, he'll take a peek, and he sends it down the right wing side. It hit Arda in the chest. Cabral coming back in front of his own net. And the Flyers holding on to that puck, maintaining possession here. They're going to get forced out of their own end. And they give it off to Tyler Lee. Maybe nobody's had more jump in this first period than Lee. Behind the goal, played it out in front. There's a point shot just wide. Went behind the net. Wang chases it down after he let that shot go. Dug out of the corner here, and a chance to clear it for Fisher Ishwaran. Gets it out across. Arda played it up to Pereira. Pereira overskates it there as he saw he had a man going to the net in Tyler Bruce. Now Pereira nearly able to sneak in there for an interception, but it's held on to by Sullivan. Sullivan lugs the puck up and bounces it in on net. Cicelli able to stop that one as it's taken to the boards. Junior Canadiens will play it up. After it is Maharaj, and there's a great hit by who else? Tyler Lee. It's Murata. Over the blue line, holds on to it, looking for a little bit of support. He got it there from Meme. A centering pass is going to get knocked into the corner. Grabbed here now by Maharaj, and he will send it all the way to the left side. Nobody was able to pick it up at first. Junior Canadiens flip it in. Maharaj is in pursuit. Lagambina's going to have to play it, and he's able to snap that one off the boards. Chipped out across the blue line and into the neutral zone. Trying to secure the puck is Loss. A nice move, but he has his stick lifted as it was stolen right back. Quickly intercepted by the junior Canadiens. It's Cameron Warren. Warren on the backhand. Gets it into the corner. Here's Roberts out in front. Laws with a shot, and Lagambina with a big-time save. The Flyers will clear it out as this one's going to go all the way down just wide of the net for icing. But after giving up that first shot he faced, no doubt that Noah Lagambina has settled in.
Lagambina has been a stud for the Don Mills Flyers all tournament long. 945 save percentage, and right here he makes his biggest save of the game on the captain of the junior Canadiens, Noah Laus. Right in the heart of the slot. He gets a shot on the blocker side, but Lagambina covers up.
Here's another chance. Warren to the backhand, and he scores! Back and forth we go, and the junior Canadiens tie things up.
A turnover on the goal line leads to the opportunity for the junior Canadiens to tie this game up, and it's Cameron Warren with his 7th goal of the tournament. A great play there by Roberts just to get a shot on net, but then the awareness of Noah Laus to see Cameron Warren all alone, and Warren, the potential first overall pick, makes no mistake.
Here's Warren once again along with Roberts. Getting to the puck will be Sullivan as he tries to headman it to Cabral. Here's Edwards trying to find the puck and takes a hit. The play was offside, so it'll get halted. As Roberts and Cabral have a couple of words. Cameron Warren just pouncing on that puck to put it home. And he's on a milestone, if not a history watch here tonight. An opportunity to become the all-time leading scorer in the OHL Cup.
Last year he played with the North York Rangers. He played a year up in this U16 age bracket, and now he's playing for the Toronto Junior Canadiens. He's just now 1 point away from the record.
Faceoff will be in the junior Canadian zone after that dump in as Ciccelli held on to it. So we'll keep an eye on Cameron Warren as this game rolls along. We thought there would be offense, and it's lived up to that. 2-2 the score here with 2:55 to go in the first period of play. Lee on the faceoff. It's won by the Don Mills Flyers. Behind the net, Lee against Quain. Quain put the shoulder into him. Nicholson behind the net was trying to poke it to that short side. And it's going to be secured here by Arda. He flips it off the glass and out. Cut, his pass over the stick of Murata at first. A dump in as he's trying to duck under the hit coming from Quain. Now a big forecheck there. Nice hit thrown by Nicholson. From the corner, it's played back to the blue line. Tommy Cut will spin with it. Gives the puck off to Murata, back to Cut. Cut's gonna go across. There's a shot, and that one caught the post. An opportunity there for Caden Bell. And it rang some iron as Quain just gonna rim it around to the far side. Bell once again pitches down. There's a wraparound attempt that gets shoveled across the blue paint but out. And the junior Canadiens, who were under siege, will relieve the pressure by icing it with just over 2 minutes left in this first period.
That's 3 times in this game that the junior Canadiens, when they have pressure in their defensive zone, they take the most of an opportunity just to ice the puck and get a line change with fresh legs out there.
So again, in the OHL Cup, you can ice the puck, and with that you can make a change, unlike in the OHL, where you can be really under pressure with those tired skaters after an icing call. And speaking of an icing call, there will be another one, so the faceoff will come back down into the junior Canadian zone. For the Toronto Junior Canadiens, their 5th appearance in the OHL Cup Final over the course of the last 10 tournaments. It's been quite a run. Their last victory coming just a couple of years ago in 2023. As we take a look at that chance for Caden Bell.
A nice shot there, and it just misses wide of Ciccelli.
Sharp angle shot here by the Flyers, missed, and it's going to carry him back out of the zone. Cabral taking his time as he drops it back. In the corner, it'll be reversed. An outlet pass. Grazed off the stick of Meme, but it goes on edge and it rolls all the way to the goal line. So the teams are getting into a little bit of an icing party right now as we tick away towards the end of this first period. 1:31 left. 2-2 is the score. Would you say momentum is on either side, or is it just a case of 2 teams trading blows?
I think it's just 2 teams trading blows. It's like fighters, boxers with their hands down, just letting it get punched in the face, and then attacking when they have the opportunity. Turnovers are a big one, especially in minor hockey, and face-offs. Key face-off wins are going to become essential in this one.
Ishwa ran down low for Sam Roberts. Warren comes in, losses around in the corner with it as he just turns looking for a little bit of help. Flipped off the boards and grabbed by Lee. And he plays it over now to Edwards. Edwards with a high flip to send the puck in. Lee, first one there. Quain, who's been very physical in this first period, was there to throw a hit. On the near side now, it's off the boards. Held here by Murata, who goes all the way out to the point. Sent it to the net with a redirect that's going to put it up into the netting and out of play. And kind of a subtle play there, but I think Murata knew if he just waited, he could let some traffic form in front.
Yeah, and the guy that was going to the front of the net, Tyler Lee, who already has a goal and assist in this game. Murata, the smart play just to throw it on net with Edwards and Lee hunting down that tip. Lee gets a tip on it, but it goes up and out of the play.
Draw one by the Flyers once again, back out to the point. Bell, his shot on net's going to be kicked aside by Ciccelli. Edwards along the boards, along with Quain, who's got him tied up. They've got teammates in on the perimeter waiting for that puck to come free, and it does eventually here for Jax Pereira. Starts the breakout as he gives it off to Arda. Arda, the flip ahead. Bruce is going to chase after this one. Lagambina moves it off. A follow-up attempt there, and the shot was blocked. A little surprising there that Lagambina played that one away in some tense moments for the Flyers, who can't get it out. Held in here by Pereira. Pereira, once again, finds Arda. Arda with the shot right into the chest of Lagambina, and he holds on.
Just 18 seconds left in this first period, but I'm sure when they go to the break, the coaching staff is going to talk to his goaltender and tell him that whistles are a good thing. That's 2 opportunities that he has to freeze it, but he decides to play it, and it results in opportunities for the Toronto Junior Canadiens, and golden ones at that.
So a face-off to the right of La Gambina. 18 seconds remains. Draw won by the Flyers again. And they just need to get a clear, trying to get out of this first period. Poked at the line. The long reach of Raymond kept it in for a moment. Held here by Warren. Flips it to Loss. 5 seconds to go. Shot by Warren, and that one's tipped over top of the net into the near side corner and grabbed by Kuhlman, and that's going to do it for period number 1. And what a first period. What a start to this OHL Cup final as these teams go back and forth, and it's 2-2.
A back and forth affair. Saw Jax Pereira get the JRC on the board first, and then quickly after, Tyler Lee had a goal and an assist. And then a 2-2 tie after 15 minutes.
So what a start to this one here, as a packed house tonight. The Mattamy Athletic Center is being treated to a good one, and so are you watching at home. Mark McKelvey and Adrian Musso, and with a 2-2 game, a lot of scoring that first period. Do you expect it to sort of tighten up there in period number 2?
I really don't expect anything to tighten up. I think it's going to be a free-flowing affair and just make the most of turnovers and odd man rushes. When we're talking with the coaching staff before the game, he said that 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s are going to be the keys to this one, and he was spot on. It's been a lot of odd man rushes and breakdowns defensively for both teams.
All right, 2-2 the score. 1 period down, 2 to go on this Friday night. Time to send things back over to the panel. Here's Joel Wood.
Some top talent here in the building tonight as we now take the opportunity to recognize the U16 Players of the Year.
Captain Caden McGregor is the AGO U16 Player of the Year, leading the league with 38 goals and 82 points over 29 games.
Congratulations once again to all of this
Year, leading the circuit with 32 goals and 61 points. Toronto Junior Canadiens forward Cameron Warren earns top honors in the GTHL, helping his JRC squad reach the OHL Cup Championship Final. Barrie Junior Colts forward Brock Chitteroni is the OMHA East Player of the Year with 29 goals and 59 points over 31 regular season games. Halton Hurricane star Alexander Semensov is the OMHA West U16 Player of the Year with a league-leading 76 points. Sioux Greyhounds U16 standout Adam Zanichny led the Great North Midget League in rookie scoring with 29 goals and 64 points to earn NOHA honors. Thunder Bay Kings goaltender Eliezer Andrusko earns HNO U16 Player of the Year recognition. Ottawa Valley Titans captain Caden McGregor is the HEO U16 Player of the Year, leading the league with 38 goals and 82 points over 29 games.
Joining me now is NOHA Player of the Year, Adam Pishnishny. Adam, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining me here tonight.
Thank you very much.
What does winning the award mean to you?
It's truly an honor. You know, playing up north, playing against all those guys, it's just truly an honor to represent Northern Ontario.
You were part of the Sioux's first U16 team. What was your season like with them this year?
It was an awesome season through coaching staff, Daniel Lambert leading the way. Overall, it was just an amazing season playing in the Great North League. Overall, amazing year, amazing memories, and a lot of building.
You had the opportunity to represent Team NOHA at the 2025 OHL Cup. What was that overall experience like for you?
The experience was amazing. It was pretty surreal. It was a dream come true, honestly. Just experiencing the building, the rink, the atmosphere. It was all just truly surreal.
You led your team in scoring this season. How would you describe yourself as a player?
I'd say as a player, I'm a leader on and off the ice. I'm a two-way forward with size and speed, but it was truly a remarkable season with all the guys, and I couldn't have done it without all of them.
Finally, as the 2025 OHL draft quickly approaches, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, and I'm excited to see where the future goes, whether that's in the OHL or anywhere else. But I'm truly excited for the OHL draft, and I can't wait.
Adam, congratulations again. We'll be back after the break with Brody Barrick.
Pittsburgh Penguins select from Rimouski, Quebec Canadian Union League.
From the Regina Pats, the Western Hockey League.
Connor Bedard has arrived.
Crosby scores! McDavid! Alexia Benet!
Misa fires and he scores!
Landon Dupont is first in the WHL.
Take your game to the next level with the OHL Performance Development Program, with registration now open for players born between 2008 and 2012. Sunday development sessions with OHL staff begin April 27th in Oshawa, Ottawa, Oakville, Kitchener, London, Windsor, and Sudbury. Sign up today at OntarioHockeyLeague.com.
My OHL gives back to communities that support it. There's been such a great connection between our local communities and Special Olympians. With all the member teams have some association with Special Olympics, so the member nights just seem to be a great fit. When you're standing beside someone in the community that looks up to and respects, that helps our athletes gain that respect and gain that focus and attachment to the community as well.
Welcome back to the 2025 OHL Cup. I'm your host, Joelle Wood, joined by OHL Director of Player Recruitment and Player Services, Brody Barrick. Brody, thank you so much for joining us here. What are your overall thoughts of the tournament so far?
Yeah, it's a great event. It's something we look forward to all year, obviously, to wrap up our season and the U16 season. And we know our scouts and our teams all look forward to this event, and obviously the big finals here every year. So a lot of excitement, a long year of hard work and being out at the rinks, and for it to cap off an event like this is awesome.
Why don't we start off by letting the viewers at home learn a little bit more about what your role really entails here at the OHL.
Sure. So my job as Director of Player Recruitment and Player Services really is twofold. The first side, player recruitment, is really to be a resource available for our players and their families as they head through, their draft year and towards the OHL draft, and ultimately playing in our league, and educating on everything that goes into being an OHL player, player development stats, how many players we continuously move on to higher levels, whether it be the NHL or pro, and talk about our education package and everything, like I said, that goes into being an OHL player. On the player services side, ensuring that players and our teams go through trainings on a yearly basis to ensure that they're taken care of both on and off the ice, and have learnings and things that they can bring with them past the game of hockey.
In terms of recruitment, how beneficial would you say the OHL Cup experience is for a player to go through ahead of the OHL draft?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, it's the one of the big tournaments that they'll play in their U16 season as they head towards the draft, and to cap it off with an experience like this and give them a little bit of a taste of what playing in the OHL could be like. Big crowds, the bright lights, all the spectacle that goes into it. It's a lot of fun. So I think this week as a whole is great to have the OHL brand in and have our teams and GMs and scouts all around all week is great for them to see. And it's a lot of the people they'll get to know over the next few years while they're playing in our league.
Obviously, it takes a lot for a player to reach even this part in their career so far. What really goes into the recruitment process? Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, it's educating and being available for the players and their families. It's a lot for them to go through their draft year, all the uncertainties, everything that goes into the process if they've never been through it before. And a lot of the families and the players haven't. They don't have an older brother or a friend or someone that's gone through this process. So really, it's me to be available for them, to help them, guide them through this process, educate them on the OHL as a whole and all the great things that we have to offer as a league, and hopefully take some of that pressure and anxiety that they feel off as they head towards the draft.
And how beneficial would you say the OHL is to a player's development on and off the ice?
Yeah, we talk all the time about being the #1 development league in the world, both on and off the ice, and we want to make sure that players and their families know that and get a taste of everything that goes into our league, pushing players on to higher levels, the NHL, pro hockey, but also creating individuals who are at the top of their field, whether it be lawyers, doctors, firefighters. We want to give all of those players the opportunity to experience the OHL and continue to develop into the best player and the best person possible.
Finally, a lot of names are up in the air. What are your overall thoughts on this year's recruitment class?
Yeah, it's super exciting and a ton of great players and great people and families, which is the part of my job I like the most. Obviously, being at the rink and watching them play is always exciting, but getting to know the player off the ice and the person and the individual along with their family, it's super exciting for sure.
Well, Brody, thank you so much for joining us here at the 2025 OHL Cup Final. We'll be back after the break, breaking down first period's action.
Commissioner of the Ontario Hockey League. Thanks for enjoying the game today. If you've consumed alcohol while at the game, make sure to make the right choice. Get a ride with a sober driver, use a rideshare app, or take public transportation. Make the right choice, never drive impaired.
Take your game to the next level with the OHL Performance Development Program. Development sessions begin April 27th in 7 cities across Ontario. Sign up at ontariohockeyleague.com.
OHL Live on CHL TV.
What a goal by Michael Misa!
Every goal.
What a rip!
Every save.
What a save by Oscar!
On every device.
Doesn't get better than that!
Here's the rookie. Schaefer shoots and scores!
In every market.
Back in Seneca scores!
All season long.
Green Tree went through! Green Tree scores!
Subscribe now at watch.chl.ca. OHL Live, the home of every OHL game.
My OHL is where every player feels safe and respected. Well, I truly believe that the OHL has been on the forefront of empowering our players to have a voice. The off-ice development, I think, is as important, if not more important, to the player's success. They're part of the community. There's a responsibility to treat people with respect. All teams, I think, have felt a great sense of responsibility in that regard to make sure the message has been clear.
Welcome back to the 2025 OHL Cup Final here at the Mattamy Athletic Centre in downtown Toronto, where the Don Mills Flyers and the Toronto Junior Canadiens are tied at 2 after the first. I'm your host, Joelle Wood, and I'm joined here again by panel analyst Dylan Baker. Dylan, obviously an action-packed first period. What are your thoughts?
That was a lot of offense, Joel. I think that's my main thought after that first period. 2-2 after 20 minutes, or after 15 minutes, I should say, excuse me. It lived up to the billing, right? We heard Mark and Adrian talk about it before the game. They were expecting a high-octane contest, and that's exactly what we saw in the first period. 2 goals within the first minute and 10 seconds. I mean, that was everything you could have hoped for in the first period of the OHL Cup Final. Don Mills and the Toronto Junior Canadiens certainly living up to the billing of this game.
We spoke about it. Last year's OHL Cup Final only saw 1 goal in the entire game. We already have 4 in the first 15 minutes. Is there anyone out there that's really surprised you or come out hot as you were expecting?
You know what? I think that Don Mills has really come out hot as a team, and I really like the game that Lee has played so far up to this point. He's been all over it. Obviously, he scored that first goal for the Don Mills Flyers in the first period, and then was kind of buzzing around, and Mark and Adrian highlighted that. He was laying checks, he was physical, he was speeding around the ice all throughout the first period. I really liked the game that he's had so far.
Cameron Warren, leading the tournament in points, scored that tying goal at the end of the first period. What are your thoughts on his game?
Cameron Warren is a really highly skilled player, and that was on full display in the first period. A beautiful backhand goal to tie this one up, and I believe he's tied for the all-time tournament lead in scoring as well, so potentially something to watch for in the second period.
He is indeed, and also potential first overall pick in the upcoming OHL draft. With that being said, let's take a look at the action.
Yeah, busy first period, Joel, here. It got started right away. 44 seconds in, the Junior Canadiens kind of set the tone. Roberts with a pass that was, or a shot that was turned away, and Jax Pereira got just enough of it to get it past La Gambina, but not to be outdone. The Flyers responded immediately. Bit of a miscommunication, and Lee was left wide open on the pass from Evan Nicholson there to bury it and respond for the Don Mills Flyers. A couple of chances there for Don Mills were followed up by a scramble off the draw, and Evan Nicholson using Chong as a screen in front of him to beat Ciccelli. There you see the goal from Cameron Warren. Beautiful backhander, able to outweight La Gambina, and we've seen the intensity kind of ratchet up in this game. A couple of chances on both sides. Nearly a miscommunication there between La Gambina and his defenders that led to a goal for the Junior Canadiens. He was sharp all throughout that first period, as were the Junior Canadiens defenders and Ciccelli in goal.
As you mentioned, La Gambina remains the only goaltender in this tournament with a perfect 4-0 record. I'm sure that they're going to come out in the second period looking to really build on their adrenaline and come out there again.
I'd love to see an early period goal just like we saw in the first period. I thought Toronto did a great job kind of establishing themselves in that first period. Obviously, the goal in the first minute will do exactly that. As you get a look at the stats, pretty even overall. Shots 14-10 in favor of Don Mills. A lot of shots, a lot of offense in that first frame. We'll see if maybe the teams kind of play a little more conservative in the second period, try to settle back into more of a defensive style, because it was certainly high flying in the first 15.
Most definitely, and I'm sure that we're going to see a team of veteran coaching come out too, as this Don Mills Flyers team. Same coach as the 2019 team that saw Shane Wright, Brennan Othman, Grant Clark all reach success.
Absolutely. That team was filled with so many big names in the Ontario Hockey League, now moving on to NHL careers.
We're back with second period action after the break.
Take your game to the next level with the OHL Performance Development Program, with registration now open for players born between 2008 and 2012. Sunday development sessions with OHL staff begin April 27th in Oshawa, Ottawa, Oakville, Kitchener, London, Windsor, and Sudbury. Sign up today at OntarioHockeyLeague.com.
My OHL is a home away from home. I remember how cool it was to go to school and brag to my friends how I had a OHL player, an Oshawa General, living with me, and 7-8 years later, I just knew right away that that was going to be a place that I was going to feel comfortable, and they really opened their home to me and took me in, and they really treated me like another son.
And welcome back to the 2025 OHL Cup Final as the second period gets underway. The Don Mills Flyers and the Toronto Junior Canadiens all knotted up at 2 as we start this second frame. Roberts to the far side, chopping the puck and gets control. Lost it for a second on that fresh ice, trying to make a pass out, and will eventually send it down as Charlie Sullivan will grab it and send it up the right wing side. Mark McKelvey and Adrian Musso with you. Happy to be on the call tonight for this championship game. Alongside Joel Wood and Dylan Baker on the desk. The puck is going to be skied out into the neutral zone. Raymond moving it across to his D partner. As that one is sent out by Ishwaran, but at center ice it was cut off. And it's going to be rolled back in to the Junior Canadian zone. Ishwaran going back. Moves it to Raymond. Long pass ahead to Laus. Noah Laus, his pass got by Jax Pereira, but he'll go after it now. As Cut chips it into the corner. Shots 14-10 in favor of the Don Mills Flyers after the first 15 minutes. Awaiting that first shot of this second stanza. Arda on the forecheck as the puck comes around the boards. Picked up now. There's a point shot coming from Chong. And that one will be stopped and held on to by Lagambina.
44 seconds into the game, we saw Jax Pereira get the Toronto Junior Canadiens on the board. 2 quick goals after that by Liam Nicholson for Don Mills, had them up 2-1, and then Cameron Warren with about 4 minutes left tied the game up, and that's how we got the 2-2 game.
Jax Pereira was the player of the game last night in the semifinals, so carrying that momentum right over to tonight's game. And here's Pereira once again, trying to get control of it as it was bobbled in some skates. Turned out of the zone and brought ahead now. It's going to be Murata down the right side. He stops up. Has to contend with Chong, who was on him. Looking for a little bit of support from Edwards. The puck comes free. Edwards reaching for it. Gets poke checked over now to Tyler Bruce, and Bruce will skate up to the red line and dump it in. Tyler Bruce, we talked about him being an Energizer bunny for the Junior Canadiens. And you could almost say on the other side, it was Tyler Lee doing that for the Don Mills Flyers in that first frame. Puck is going to be chipped off the boards and out. Carchidi got it out at first. Now he tries to take that puck away as it's going to get muscled in by Richard Wang. Wang centered it out in front. Kuhlman with a shot and a kick save is made. Ciccelli knocked that one aside with that right pad. Sullivan from the point, a high wrist shot that went wide. Back out in front, and it went over top of the stick. Now a chance once again. Meme's going to let it go, and that one was blocked. Another opportunity now, kept alive. There's a shot by Kuhlman and a blocker save by Ciccelli. The Flyers pouring it on here as the Junior Canadiens try to get it out. It's held in by Charlie Sullivan. Controlled now by Meme. Meme with a shot. That one tipped down and just went wide of the goal. The Junior Canadiens will sky it out, a high flip. The race is on for this one as it goes right to the net. Maharaj was coming after it. Haggerty as well. Bobbled for a brief moment, but the Flyers will regroup, recontrol, and they bring it ahead. Over the line now, it's coming, waiting. Sharp angle shot on net, and Ciccelli will make the save as some tense moments for the Junior Canadiens in front of their own net.
Alex Kuhlman has only played 2 games, getting injured in the second game of this tournament. Had to sit out the quarters and the semis, and then he comes into today's game talking with the coaching staff. They were unsure if he would play any shifts. He's getting a regular one now, and his shot from the blue line was a tester on Ciccelli early on.
Laus will try to get the puck to Warren. It was in his skates. Raymond will dig it out of the skates of the linesman there for a moment as Laus trying to push it over the blue line. Raymond coming in using his physicality. A towering defenseman for the Junior Canadiens is that of George Raymond. Roberts and Laus were trying to steal it. Cabral, nice delay as he gives the puck off. Over the line, Nicholson. There's Lee putting it towards the net. Ciccelli steered it to the end glass. Wong going to find the loose puck now. Plays it ahead for Laus. It was behind him. Stolen now by Lee. Put out in front. Unable to get a stick on it was Nicholson. Now Nicholson again on the backhand. Bell's going to venture down from that right blue line. Can't get the puck, and it's Cameron Warren ahead. Warren just elects to send it down the ice, and the Don Mills Flyers wisely don't touch up, so it will be icing.
One of the Don Mills Flyers that's having a really good game today and has had a really good OHL Cup. It's Caden Bell, number 88 for the Don Mills Flyers, has 4 goals and 4 assists as a defenseman. We've been talking about all this high-end offensive talent. Well, from the back end, he loves to join the rush. Could be one of the first defensemen off the board of the priority selection in a few weeks.
Ishwaran started to get the breakout going. But some aggressive play coming from the Don Mills Flyers as they're trying to hold that blue line. They get the puck deep once again, and this time Chong tries to go the other way. Didn't realize he had another man on him on the forecheck as it's worked free. Edwards got it to Murata. Across now to Charlie Sullivan. He'll let it go. A high shot over top of the net. Murata has his stick tied up, and then just getting a piece of it was Ciccelli on a shot that spilled into the corner. Now after it is Jax Pereira, as he was trying to jumpstart something there, unable to pick it up, and it's Murata again. The puck's been on his stick an awful lot. That's to no surprise as he slices his way through the neutral zone and gets the puck in deep. Ciccelli behind the net, left it there. A backhand pass that's going to kick back here. And a chance now to take a moment. Ishwaran looked at it and then passed it ahead. Ardaw's high flip cross ice was gloved down. As we're past the 5-minute mark here of the second period. Tyler Lee, some nice edge work. Dealing with a couple of whacks there. Coming across to throw a hit. That was going to be Richard Wang. Leaves the puck for Sullivan, who goes across to Kuhlman. Kuhlman corrals, and he gets it back over to Sullivan. Sullivan over the blue line. His shot deflected into the corner. Tyler Lee plays it back to the point. Didn't have anybody home there. And Caden Bell will retreat deep into his own zone. Bell behind his own net. Takes a look. Tries a long stretch pass. Held now by Lee as he comes over the blue line. Lee on the drop for Kuhlman. Kuhlman, middle of the ice, fires it. Rode off a stick. Hit the end glass. Coming in to help is Cut, the D-man, down low. Pass it to Kuhlman, who's got his spot. He lets a shot go, and a left pad save is made by Ciccelli. Haggerty now can't secure it at first. His flip off the boards gets out, and Maharaj is trying to jump on it, digging away there with Kuhlman. Haggerty, Carchidi just gets kicked around there at center ice. The Flyers again get possession, and they'll try a dump in. That's going to see Ciccelli wisely jump out of his net. He covers it up, and he holds on. No change in the score. 2-2 here as we roll through the second period of the 2025 OHL Cup Final.
To the next level with the OHL Performance Development Program. with registration now open for players born between 2008 and 2012. Sunday development sessions with OHL staff begin April 27th in Oshawa, Ottawa, Oakville, Kitchener, London, Windsor, and Sudbury. Sign up today at OntarioHockeyLeague.com.
Inside the Mattamy Athletics Center, second period of this OHL Cup Final. 2-2 the score between the Don Mills Flyers and the Toronto Junior Canadiens. Shots 20-11 in favor of the Flyers. We've talked about the Junior Canadiens, their program in a familiar spot in their 5th OHL Cup Final over the last 10 years, 10 tournaments. The Don Mills Flyers, on the other hand, last won the tournament back in 2019. The Flyers win this face-off, and they get it in deep for Cabral. Cabral trying to win that board battle as he gets back in there. Taken up against the boards, though, by Seth Wong, and it's going to be skated out by Cameron Warren. Laus dumps it into the corner. Warren got there, showing his jets. Turned them on to get after that puck on the forecheck. Sullivan behind the goal. Sauces it up the boards, and it's sent across. Trying to settle a bouncing puck was Cabral. Laus stops it right at the red line, and it's going to get batted back. Held here by Seth Wong. His pass cross ice is intercepted. Opportunity now for Cumming. Cumming trying to go rink wide. Glove down by Cabral. Takes a hit from Laus. Parked in front was Cumming. He was all alone, but the Junior Canadiens were able to get control. They again get it out into the neutral zone, but they're having a tough time really spending any time in that Don Mills end here in this second period. Nicholson couldn't secure a bouncing puck. And a bit of a toe pick there for Warren. And jumping on the puck is Tyler Lee, and they've got numbers. Lee goes across, Murata in tight, and he couldn't get control of the puck. Here's a point shot by Cut. That's off a stick and over top of the goal. Bell comes down the boards, plays it back to Murata, who's covering for him. Charlie Murata, his pass off the end wall. There's a shot off the side of the net, fired there by Edwards. Again, the Junior Canadiens elect just to fire the puck out of the zone. Knocked down before it got across the red line by Murata, and Bell will dump it into the far corner. Chipped up the wall. Arda, his stick broke as he was trying to clear it out. He's got to go to the bench for a new cue. He'll just be replaced now, as coming out to replace him was Tyler Bruce. The puck dumped in, Ciccelli slows it down, and it's Wong firing it off the wall and out. Cuts it off again. His pass up the middle. Skate to stick. And controlled now by Murata. Murata keeping that puck away from the defender Raymond as he circles the zone. Out to the blue line, Murata kept it in, fires it to the net, but seeing that one all the way to make the save was Ciccelli.
Murata just gets the puck and decides to circle the zone, and the Toronto Junior Canadiens have been under siege in this one, and Ciccelli's had to be really good, making 20 saves on 22 shots. And for Noah Lagambina, hasn't been tested often in this one, but 11 shots against. He's made 9 saves. He's came out clutch when they really needed him most.
Sparkling numbers over the course of this OHL Cup tournament for Noah Lagambina. Just 6 goals against coming into tonight. So almost a little uncharacteristic to give up 2 in that first period, but settled right back in. Chong out in the neutral zone is going to send the puck down into the Don Mills zone, as the Junior Canadiens would love to spend a little more time down in this end of the rink. You can just tell by the ice how fresh it is down there in front of Lagambina, as it's played behind the Junior Canadiens goal by Kuhlman. He's showing his strength as he tries to muscle to the front of the goal. Again, kept to the outside, back to the point. The pass by Sullivan is picked off. Good read there by Arda. And again, is able just to push it into the Flyers zone before going for a change. Now Kuhlman one-arms the puck, trying to push it over the line. Up to center ice, the puck's going to get banked in by Maharaj. To the front of the net is Quain. The pass was behind him. Comes back out to center. And it's played off the boards by Bodner. Now Sullivan. Making a line change there was Nicholson as he had just stepped out. Neem is going to the front of the net, looking for it as the pass comes through the top of the blue paint. Caden Bell is there. Meme sends it high slot. That was Cut, who couldn't pick it up at first. He comes cross ice to keep control. Now cutting to the near side is Lee, running out of real estate there, so he'll cycle it in deep. Nicholson has his stick knocked out of his hands. The junior Canadiens clear it up the boards, and again, it's going to go for icing, as it just feels like it's a matter of time right now. The Flyers are certainly controlling the game.
Flyers have been dominating this second period, but we'll take a look here at the U16 Players of the Year as announced during the first intermission from the Alliance and the Sun County Panthers. Jacko Wysick, Cameron Warren of the Toronto Junior Canadiens, won Player of the Year in GTHL. Caden McGregor in the Ottawa area. Lazar Andrescu from the Thunder Bay Kings of the Northern Ontario Hockey League. It was Adam Pisnechny. And then from OHL East, Brock Chitteroni.
Here's Bell's point shot. That was off a leg. Out to the blue line for Cut. He plays it into the corner. Cabral lets it go by. Wrapped around, and that one, I don't know if that was the intent of Lee, but almost squeaked over the line as it hit the pad of Ciccelli, who was just starting to come off of that near side post. And we'll take another look at this one here as Ciccelli had his eyes light up.
He's going for the back door as he had two guys filtering that far post. Couldn't get the pass through, but then it hits the pad of Ciccelli. Ciccelli lost sight of it. It was on the doorstep. He just pounces on and gets the whistle.
Here's a shot that's blockered aside by Ciccelli. Comes to Sam Roberts. Roberts, the son of former NHLer, Stanley Cup winner Gary Roberts. As Warren dashes in. He got hooked up there as he was trying to go behind the net. Knocked off stride, and the Flyers now miss on an outlet pass, and that one will go for icing. So you talk about some of the pedigree in tonight's game. Former NHLers and their sons playing in this game. Not to mention siblings. Of course, Sam Roberts, his older brother, competing in the OHL playoffs.
Noah Roberts playing for the Sudbury Wolves right now as they're in the playoffs, going up against the Kingston Frontenacs, and that affair in Kingston tonight.
Through the neutral zone comes Cumming, and the play is going to be whistled offside. Of course, 16 teams in the OHL starting their playoff journeys either last night or tonight. 4 teams that didn't advance to the playoffs who were instead part of the draft lottery earlier this week, and we'll talk more about that as the night rolls along. And scouts flocking to the Scotiabank Pond all week long to watch the OHL Cup. Many in attendance here this evening. Just an exceptional showcase. And some tough decisions for all the OHL teams as we get another icing call. We talk about the high-end talent in tonight's game, but even last night in the semifinals, the quarterfinals, yesterday morning and early afternoon, a lot of top players from this age group.
Yeah, and we just saw the Players of the Year as well on our screen, and all those players and a few in this game and are going to be littered throughout the OHL draft, and most notably in the first round.
Chong at the blue line, keeps the puck in. He goes cross. There's a shot by Ishwaran that went behind the net. Pereira is on it. Pereira gets things moving now. His pass. Ishwaran again. A wrist shot. Not seeing that one, I don't think, was Lagambina as it was blocked. Now out in front, deflected up into the air. Kuhlman was trying to one-hand it out of the zone. Eventually, it's just going to get dragged back by the junior Canadiens. Sent up now to Tyler Bruce. Through the middle to Ardaugh. His shot hit a leg and spilled into the corner. Ardaugh against Lee. Coming in was Tyler Bruce, and he was seeking a big check as he came crashing into those end boards. Bruce once again to challenge. Just cut. Played it up. Chong from the point. A long shot to the net. Bit of a juicy rebound there as Lagambina didn't really steer that one aside the way he would have imagined. Icing is waved off as the puck just gets to the goal line. Now stepping out is Quain. He tries a stretch pass that got through a couple of sticks. Lagambina's going to leave it off, and Cut will shoot it around the boards. Kuhlman keeps that one moving as it goes down, and back to collect is George Raymond. 3 minutes to go in the second period, a 2-2 score here in the OHL Cup Final. Roberts gives it off to Warren. Warren on the dash, his pass off the skates, a loss. Junior Canadiens regroup. They'll gain the blue line. Raymond sends it in as he takes a hit from Charlie Sullivan. Near side for Roberts. Roberts engages in a board battle. Quain was going to hold the blue line, but possession goes to the Don Mills Flyers, and they will send it in. After the puck is coming as he's in there on the forecheck. Nicholson coming in to support as well. Parked out in front is Cabral. as it gets pitched around the boards by Quain. Here's a shot from a tough angle that was blocked. And Sullivan will look to keep the puck in. He just kept it in at the blue line. Behind the net for Cumming. Quain trying to push it around the boards. Cumming takes a hit. Down low. There is Warren. And Cameron Warren will push it ahead to Loss. Maybe wants a little give and go action. It's Loss trying to go back across, and a nice play there by Sullivan. He read that play all the way. Breaks things up. Now Arda on the far half boards. Line change was going on for the junior Canadiens, so he didn't have any help. Cabral's pass was blocked coming through the middle. Now they get it out ahead. Over the line for Nicholson. Nicholson's shot rides off the stick of Ishwaran, who puts it behind the net. Chong will move it around to Tyler Bruce. It's Bruce. Pereira coming in. Pereira trying to slice through. Bruce is on the boards as well. And back to grab control is Lincoln Edwards. Edwards gets the puck up to Lee. Lee tries to give it right back to him. That pass in his skates. Junior Canadiens, though, bat it right back to the Don Mills Flyers, and they send it in. Under a minute and a half to go here in the second frame. Ciccelli around the boards for Arda. After a 4-goal first period, nothing to report here in the second. 2-2 remains to score. Arda over the line, and Bruce was just a step away from clearing the zone, and it's blown dead.
That forwards door is inside the blue line of the Don Mills Flyers end, and Bruce just wanted a line change, and he's just a hair offside as Arda got the puck and was heading towards the goal.
Face-off won by the Flyers as they go back to Caden Bell. Tommy Cutt's pass was more like a clearing attempt, and it works as he gets it out of the zone. Warren holding it behind the net. Warren will leave it in the corner. Here is Lucas Quain, and Quain's going to flip it across. After this puck is Laus. He gets there. Good work by Laus. Roberts back to the point for Raymond. Half boards Warren. Warren backdoor Quain. What a save by Lagambina. Spectacular stop keeps this game tied.
He's only got 13 saves on the night, but his biggest one just came right there as Quain jumps down to the blue line. Cameron Warren feeds it, and Noah Lagambina throws out his right pad and robs the Toronto Junior Canadiens defender.
I'll repeat that word again. Spectacular stop here in the final minute of the second period by Noah Lagambina. It remains a 2-2 game, and in a period that has been heavily controlled by the Don Mills Flyers, the biggest play comes from their netminder here.
The fourth shot of the game, of the period rather, for the Junior Canadiens was a very dangerous opportunity, but Lagambina stood tall.
Edwards couldn't slice his way through. Now out to Roberts, 15 seconds to go. Just onside, Roberts with the shot, but he pulled it wide. Picked up now and turned the other way. Here is Murata over the blue line. A loss on the back check. Murata able to shake him. His pass comes across, thrown to the front of the goal. Ciccelli, the save, makes another stop there just as the horn sounds. And the second period is complete. And it remains a 2-2 game here in the 2025 OHL Cup Final as we take a look at those back-to-back shots on net to wrap up the second period. We'll bring it back now to the broadcast booth. Mark and Adrian with you. 2-2 the score. Our bold take, it was going to be a high-scoring affair. We looked like geniuses after that first period, but as we saw in the second, the chances are going to be few and far between as this game goes a little further.
Yeah, Don Mills really took it to the Junior Canadiens in that second period, but you could argue the best chance came late with Lucas Quain on the doorstep. Couldn't find the back of the net as Lagambina made the best save of the game.
Certainly the highlight of the game to this point as it remains knotted up at 2. So 2 periods down. What a finish we're in store for here tonight. Time to send things back over to Joel Wood.
Awarded this year's first overall pick for the upcoming 2025 OHL priority selection, Peterborough Pete's general manager Mike Oak touched on what it means to the franchise to be awarded this pick.
In the first round of the 2025 OHL priority selection belongs to the Peterborough Petes.
Well, as you mentioned, it's the first time in franchise history that the Peterborough Petes will select first overall. And while it's certainly not something you'd like to do on a regular basis, it is exciting. We're looking at it as our first win of the 2025-26 season. And it's exciting knowing that we're going to be able to add a player that'll join our good young group as we move forward and build a team towards an opportunity to compete for an OHL championship. Well, you know what? We do have a good group of returning, young veterans in our 07 group, and as you mentioned, we've got some core players from the 08 age group, and now to be able to build and continue to build with another strong, group of players in the 09 group and having that first overall pick. It's exciting, and we're excited about what's lies ahead for the Peterborough Petes in the coming seasons. Well, I think this year's draft is fairly deep. It appears there's going to be a number of players that are going to be able to one day play in the Ontario Hockey League and contribute, and it's exciting. We've certainly got a number of picks. We're looking forward to utilizing those picks and selecting a number of players that are one day going to be able to step in, play in the Ontario Hockey League, and contribute for the
Director of Central Scouting, Daryl Whitley. Daryl, thank you so much for joining us here. The game's tied at 2 after the second period. What are your overall thoughts so far on what you've seen?
Yeah, it's been an entertaining first 2 periods compared to the game last year where there was only 1 goal. It's nice to see some goals and some action. We just saw a big save at the end of the second period there. So, it's been good. And we knew coming into this game that these two teams were evenly matched, and that it was probably going to come down to the third period with a power play or a big goal or a big save that's going to be the deciding point of this game. So, just looking forward to the third period. It's going to be entertaining.
It's a special year where there's a lot of different names being tossed around for that first overall pick in the upcoming draft. What are your thoughts when you look at that scouting process?
I think it just you give these kids credit. There's a lot of really good hockey players this year that have made it hard on myself and my staff and all the 20 OHL teams as well. When there's no clear-cut number 1, that means there's a lot of real good depth to this draft. And I think that's the key to this, that there's going to be a kid that gets drafted first, might at the end of the day, be the same kind of player that's drafted 7th. So there's just real good parity in the draft this year, and it's nothing against the kids. It's a deep draft with a lot of different type of players.
When scouting, what would you say the OHL teams look for in an ideal player?
Oh, it depends on what team you are, to be honest with you. A lot of teams are different. I worked for Barrie. I'll use my experience. I love kids that competed hard. Kids that had real good speed. Size wasn't necessarily a big thing, but for some teams it is. But basically, the game now is so fast. You have to be able to skate. You have to have elite skill, and then to compete. That's what kind of separates the elite guys, is they bring it every game. You watch some of these kids that are out here that might go in the first round. They compete and they bring it every single shift they have.
The OHL Cup is really one of those final showcases where players can show their skills on the ice ahead of the draft. What do you look at in terms of scouting at this tournament?
Yeah, so when you come into an event like this, at the final really viewing of these players, you're really trying to fine tune your list. So you've got 3 players on your list that you're working on. Okay, I can see all 3 at this tournament. Now I can really fine tune it and really look at, okay, yeah, if it comes down to draft day and I've got the choice of these 3, well, I'm going this way now. So there's little things. You're not really making a lot of changes to your list or a lot of changes to stuff at the OHL Cup, but it's really used to fine tune because the draft's in 2 weeks. So you got GMs and head scouts are sitting in hotels, conference rooms, having meetings, and just really fine tuning what they need to get done at the draft.
Finally, what advice would you have for all of those players as they prepare for the upcoming draft?
Have fun with it. It's a once in a lifetime thing for some of these players. I went through it. I was an 11th round pick. I sat there all day. It's going to be a long day for some players. It's going to be a short day for some players. And some players won't get drafted, but that's not the end of the world. There's a lot of good players in our league, in the NHL, that were not drafted, whether it's the OHL or in the NHL. So at the end of the day, have fun with it. And don't forget to thank those that helped you along the way, especially your parents.
Well, Daryl, thank you so much for joining me here at the OHL Cup Final. We'll be joined by the OMHA West Player of the Year after the break.
My OHL is a place where everyone feels welcome. So OHL diversity inclusion efforts are for each and everybody, whether it be a player, official, whether it be anyone within the staff, for each club or at the OHL offices, and certainly for every person that enters into one of our arenas and participates as a fan in one of our games.
Hi, I'm Brian Crawford, Commissioner of the Ontario Hockey League. Thanks for enjoying the game today. If you've consumed alcohol while at the game, make sure to make the right choice. Get a ride with a sober driver, use a rideshare app, or take public transportation. Make the right choice, never drive impaired.
Take your game to the next level with the OHL Performance Development Program. Development sessions begin April 27th in 7 cities across Ontario. Sign up at ontariohockeyleague.com.
OHL Live on CHL TV.
What a goal by Michael Misa!
Every goal.
What a rip!
Every save.
What a save by Osner!
On every device.
Nothing gets better than that! Here's the rookie. Schaefer shoots and scores!
In every market.
Back in Seneca scores!
All season long.
Green Tree went through! Green Tree scores!
Subscribe now at watch.chl.ca. OHL Live, the home of every OHL game.
Welcome back. Joining me now is OMHA West Player of the Year. Alex, congratulations on your achievement.
Thank you.
What does winning the award mean to you?
It's pretty special for me. I've been working a whole year for it, and it's pretty special. But I wouldn't be here without my coaches, parents, and my teammates. Just want to say a big thank you to them for helping me along the way.
You led the league in points this season. How would you describe the 2024-25 OMHA season?
I think it's been pretty good this year. We worked so hard in summer to be the whole team, one team. So yeah, it's been great. They won the Red Hats. So our team did a really good job throughout the year.
You had the opportunity to play with Halton at the OHL Cup. What was that experience like for you?
It's been amazing, you know. It's just something that I've dreamed off since I was a kid. So yeah, fortunately we're not playing here tonight, but I think it's been great to play here and just show ourselves.
And as you look ahead to the upcoming draft, how would you describe yourself as a player?
I think my hard-working forward, always a pass-first kind of guy. I'm a playmaker that just makes everyone around better. That plays hard and smart, and yeah, just do my best to help the team win.
Well, Alex, congratulations again. We'll be back after the break, breaking down the second period.
Take your game to the next level with the OHL Performance Development Program, with registration now open for players born between 2008 and 2012. Sunday development sessions with OHL staff begin April 27th in Oshawa, Ottawa, Oakville, Kitchener, London, Windsor, and Sudbury. Sign up today at ontariohockeyleague.com.
My OHL is a place to talk. So Talk Today has a number of elements. First and foremost, we support the players. We provide mental health and awareness training and suicide prevention training to them. And we have a coach that's in every one of our branches that supports an OHL team. And in years to come, these individuals that are playing in the OHL now will be great mental health champions.
Welcome back to the 2025 OHL Cup Final here at the Mattamy Athletic Center, where the score remains tied at 2. Dylan, score remains the same after the second period, but the action continues. What are your thoughts on that period?
That second period certainly favored the Don Mills Flyers. It took until there were 3 minutes left in the second frame for the Junior Canadiens to get their second shot of the period. Don Mills controlled the bulk of the play in the second 15 minutes, and they were all over the Junior Canadiens for the vast majority of that frame. In the Toronto Junior Canadiens end of the ice, consistently putting up shots and generating great chances.
Would you say that goaltending has played a big part in that second period? We saw some big saves there.
Absolutely. I think Ciccelli's been fantastic on the Junior Canadiens side, and Noah LaGambina with a massive save in the last minute of the second period, keeping this a tied game. Ciccelli was certainly the busier goaltender in that second frame, but LaGambina came up clutch when it mattered with a massive stop for Don Mills.
Looking at that second period action, what do you predict heading into that final frame as we look to crown a winner tonight?
You know what? I think this is going to be a more exciting third period than what we've seen so far, and it's been a very exciting game up to this point. I mentioned ahead of the second period, it might be a more conservative period, and for Don Mills, they certainly kept their foot on the gas pedal, but Toronto was playing it more conservative, trying to keep shots to the perimeter of the defensive zone. I think in the third period, it may open up a little bit as these two teams make adjustments in the third frame and try to get what could eventually be the game-winning goal.
We saw both of these teams have high-scoring semifinal matchups. I'm sure we can predict that there's going to be a little bit more back and forth heading into this final frame.
I think so too, Joel. I mean, both of these teams have put up a lot of goals throughout the tournament. I think it was Don Mills that only had one game where they did not put up at least 4 goals, sitting at 2 right now, so we can expect a high-flying third.
Let's take a look at that second period action.
Yeah, second period, as mentioned, pretty much entirely controlled by the Don Mills Flyers in the Toronto Junior Canadiens end. Lots of shots generated. Ciccelli with a lot of big saves on this sequence. The shot from the point there from Sullivan that just misses the mark. And then chances going across the crease, chances all over the offensive zone for Don Mills, generating opportunities, whether it was in close, whether it was from the perimeter, certainly keeping Ciccelli on his toes. All over at 5 minutes in. It felt like there were almost 2 Don Mills Flyers on every puck at certain points in that period. No matter where the Junior Canadiens tried to go, whether it was in the defensive zone, the offensive end, or in neutral ice, that was the lone exception where LaGambina stretched out the right pad to make an absolutely spectacular save for Don Mills. Really good performance by LaGambina in that second period when he had to be sharp, right? He didn't have to be sharp the entire time, but when the chances came, he was ready.
Toronto Junior Canadiens, a club that's made their appearance in the OHL Cup Final 3 out of the last 4 years. To you, what does that say about the type of development that club is going?
It says a lot about the program, right, Joel? I mean, being in the OHL Cup Final 3 of the last 4 seasons speaks volumes about the quality of hockey and the quality of instruction that these players are getting. When you sign up to play for the Toronto Junior Canadiens and you play in this program, you know that you're going to be getting elite coaching, elite development, and elite opportunities to thrive and succeed, whether it's in minor hockey, in the OHL, or even further in the National Hockey League.
We've seen a lot of success come out of that JRC program, 2 years ago being crowned champions, where Jake O'Brien, Brantford Bulldogs, former OHL Rookie of the Year, came out as the tournament MVP.
Yeah, Jake O'Brien, a great tournament that year. 7 goals, 10 assists for the Junior Canadiens.
But that being said, a third period action is upon us after the break.
My OHL is a place where men respect women. We do training around healthy masculinity, consent, and how to be a leader in ending gender-based violence. Creating that awareness and that safe space for players is really important, and just being able to help foster growth in understanding their role in gender-based violence is huge.
Hi, I'm Brian Crawford, Commissioner of the Ontario Hockey League. Thanks for enjoying the game today. If you've consumed alcohol while at the game, make sure to make the right choice. Get a ride with a sober driver, use a rideshare app, or take public transportation. Make the right choice, never drive impaired.
Take your game to the next level with the OHL Performance Development Program. Development sessions begin April 27th in 7 cities across Ontario. Sign up at ontariohockeyleague.com.
We're back here at the 2025 OHL Cup Final. The third period is about to begin as we revisit some of the action in the second period, looking ahead into this final frame.
Yeah, looking at the stats here for the period, just 3 shots for the Junior Canadiens in that period. Don Mills with 12 in a dominant second frame despite not getting any goals in the period, sitting tied after 30 minutes of play.
We're going to head back into the third period action now as we return to the concourse.
All right, thank you very much, Joel, as the third period gets underway. 15 minutes to go in regulation time. And setting the stage for a fantastic finish as we're tied up 2-2. Sullivan's backhander around the boards got blocked at the blue line by Raymond as he tries to keep it in. Roberts will back him up, kept it alive. Laus, Roberts with a shot. It's off a stick and up into the netting as we'll get our first stoppage of the third. And Adrian, I thought most of that second period it was on to all Don Mills, but late in the second, a little bit of a push from the Junior Canadiens. Is it possible that carries over here to the third?
If it's going to carry over, it's going to come off that top line of Cameron Warren, Sam Roberts, and Noah Laus. The first line for the Junior Canadiens is all world and guys that will be picked in the first 2 rounds of the OHL draft.
A long pass up ice that was deflected. Icing waved off. Ishwaran goes back. Fisher Ishwaran around the boards. Trying to steer that puck out was Bruce. It eventually got to the near side to Ardaugh. Ardaugh over the line. Batted down here by Bruce. Sullivan just tries to get rid of it. Kept in by Chong. And behind the net, it's going to get passed here by Wang. He took a big hit there. Spun away from it, though. Wasn't full on contact. Now here's Chong trying to pinch. Cross ice pass picked up by Edwards. Wang's going to jump into the play. Edwards with a shot, and he put it over top of the goal. Kept in by Murata at the far boards. Charlie Murata, mid blue line, holding on to it. Traffic inside the net. Murata gets his own rebound. And he's going to get checked to the wall. Ardaugh puts it up to Bruce. Joining him is Pereira. Bruce with the shot. Save made by Lagambina. Keeps that one in front of him. And that's the kind of third period it's going to be. Those opportunities aren't going to come all that often.
Tyler Bruce had 2 goals in the semifinals yesterday, and he comes down the wing trying to find Jax Pereira on the back door. Decides to shoot. Lagambina corrals that one right into his chest.
Carchiti's going to be thrown out of the faceoff. Benjamin Maharaj comes in and wins it. Bodner with a long point shot that hit the glove of Maharaj's left hand as he was shaking it there in some discomfort. Now it's Alex Kulemin. Kulemin trying to stick handle there, and it just got swatted away from him. It's going to be held by Cut as he goes across ice. Fanning on that pass was Bell as he was just trying to get it rink wide, sent back in by the Junior Canadiens. A couple minutes gone here in the third period. Brought up ice and sent across to Kulemin. Meme goes to the front of the net. Kulemin stepping in. There's a shot by Wang. Side of the goal. Wang follows it up. His backhander gloved. Behind the net, it stays loose. Dug free. There's a shot by Sullivan. It was blocked. Maharaj digging. It's Wang. Gets by a hit. Comes back out on the short side. Front of the goal. Junior Canadiens just need to clear it away. They'll rim it around the boards, and it's kept in by Kulemin. Kulemin with a point shot, hit his own man. Spinning shot by Wang, and it pinballs off some bodies and didn't find the target. There will be the icing play coming from the Junior Canadiens as Connor Haggerty had no other option.
The Don Mills Flyers continue to put lots of bodies in front of Ciccelli, causing screens and havoc in front of the nets. And then Rich Wang had the great opportunity spinning at the open net.
You take a look at the past champions of the OHL Cup. It's quite the group. This historic tournament. So many greats in this game. Essentially getting their start behind the net. The pass out. Letting it go was Richard Wang. It didn't find the goal. Charlie Sullivan kept it in at the right point. Warren was trying to dash out of his own zone, and it'll be held here by Laus. Noah Laus gets it over to Roberts, who deflects the puck in deep. Going back is Sullivan as he peeks over his shoulders. Fans on the pass up the boards. On it is Cameron Warren. It's Warren out to the blue line, and he can't get it in deep as it went off the leg of Lee. Now to center ice, and Warren intercepts that pass, and here he goes. Driving into the Flyer zone, Cameron Warren. And he had a stick get in there on him, knocked him off stride. Splits the defenders now as it goes all the way down the ice. Icing was waved off. Ciccelli was keeping his arm up there. I think he thought it was going to be icing. Junior Canadiens come away unscathed, but they turn it over in the neutral zone. Quickly brought back in here by Mattamy. Mattamy wraps it corner to corner. Into the corner now for Cumming. In to help out is Lincoln Edwards. Charlie Mattamy going to the net. Lincoln Cumming. The pass went back to the point, and it got picked off here by Tyler Bruce. Back to his skates for a moment, banks it down the boards. And too much on that one, and it goes all the way for icing.
Great play at the blue line there by Tyler Bruce just to corral the puck and then get it out of the zone. Takes an icing call. Earlier on, Cameron Warren was splitting the D, gets hooked. No call on the play. 0 penalties in this one so far, and the refs are really letting them play. But there hasn't been an obvious call to make either. So 2 teams that are just trying to find their way to OHL Cup Championship.
Mattamy behind his own goal. Tries to get things rolling, but he bobbled the puck. Tommy cut. Goes behind the net. He's cut off there by Laus. Now played up the boards, and it's Mattamy. 3-on-2 developing here now as Bell's going to jump up into the play. It's broken up, and countering are the Junior Canadiens. They come the other way. Drop pass here, Lost with the shot. The save is made. Lost digs it out of the corner, but trying to go back to the blue line, and Lee was there to cut it off. Tyler Lee comes down the wall. Bodner threw the body into him. Sam Roberts scooped the puck out. It's dumped back in by Richard Wang. In pursuit for this one was Owen Meem. Meem's in front of the net. Lee on the wraparound, sends it cross crease, and it just missed. Now out in front, Kuhlman is denied. Ciccelli got that one. And now Sam Roberts with an interception. Roberts surrounded by black jerseys. Lets a long wrist shot go that grazed off the blocker of Lagambina. Played into the near corner. Kuhlman trying to clear it out. Kept in by Wong. Wong's shot hit a couple of legs. Wrap around by Roberts, trying a jam play there. That one got denied, and it's sent up the boards now for Kuhlman. Kuhlman by himself. Stops up, looking for some help. Sends it across. It hopped over the stick of Cabral. Cabral once again sends it down low to the near side, where throwing the body, that was Seth Wong as he just tries to get in there and pin that puck up. Bodies pile on the near half boards. That puck is sealed. Finally, it's going to get wedged loose here by Arda. Ishwaran up to Laus, and Laus poke checks it ahead. Icing's waved off. It's cut back, and he'll rim it around to Cumming. Cummings pass bunted down right at center ice by Cabral. Quain is back in his own zone. He'll go D to D. Up the boards now for Arda, and his flip pass comes all the way to the far side. Quain got there, got it over the blue line, about 6 feet in, tied up in some equipment. It finally comes free. Now over to the right wing side, and Arda will send the puck in. Lagambina's out to play it. Snapped around the boards, it comes out of the zone. Follow up here by Nicholson, and Nicholson skates it to the blue line, and he'll dump it in on the backhand. Mattamy, first one on the scene. Here's Charlie Mattamy. He's tied up by Chong. Coming in to try and work it loose. That was Edwards. Into the corner for Nicholson. Mattamy trying to scoop it up. Good support coming there from Edwards. A point shot by Wang. That is stopped. One-handed back to the goal. And Ciccelli will cover it up. Nothing changing here. 7:50 to go. A 2-2 game in the 2025 OHL Cup Final.
Every goal.
What a rip!
Every save.
What a save by Oster!
On every device.
Nothing gets better than that!
Here's the rookie. Schaefer shoots and scores!
In every market.
Back in Seneca scores!
All season long.
Green Tree went through! Green Tree scores!
Subscribe now at watch.chl.ca. OHL Live, the home of every OHL game.
Welcome back to the Mattamy Athletic Center on this Friday night, the 2025 OHL Cup Final. A great crowd on hand watching these two GTHL rivals, the Junior Canadiens and the Flyers, go toe-to-toe. Both netminders have been strong after a wild first period. It's been a nail-biter all the way. 2-2 the score with 7:50 to go as this third period continues. Raymond on the breakout. The pass got by Loss at first. He knocks it down, sends it up to Ardaugh. It's chopped into the corner by Sullivan. Loss is leaning in from his stomach. He tries to stay on that puck. Here is Warren, and Warren is shoved off it. Coming the other way is Charlie Murata. Murata throws it on net, off the padalag of Ciccelli. Sullivan thought about a shot to the net, didn't really have the avenue. It's Warren deep in his own zone, and he gets away from the pressure, and he'll take off. Here comes Cameron Warren. A bouncer to the net. Lagambina opts to keep the play moving. Junior Canadiens were changing. Good job, though, by Warren to go after the puck. And that was able to buy some time for his teammates to get out there. It's Sullivan deep in his own zone. His bank pass up the boards intercepted by Pereira. Pereira, the shot off the crossbar. Didn't miss by much there. And now the other way come the Flyers. Edwards was trying to go inside outside. His centering pass is blocked. Oh, Jax Pereira opened the scoring. He nearly had the go-ahead goal here midway through the third. Pereira trying to hop around cut. Couldn't get by, and it's passed up now to Owen Meme. Meme will flip the puck in. Ciccelli out to play it. There's a broken stick there as Chong took a rough ride into the end glass. Junior Canadiens will clear it out, and they will send it all the way for an icing call as Jax Pereira will be looking up to the heavens after here he nearly picked the corner for the 3-2 goal.
Jax Pereira is electric in the semifinal game, and then he gets the game's opener 44 seconds in, and when the game's tied 2-2 here in the third, he gets a golden opportunity coming down the right wing, snaps it far side on Lagambina, but hits the crossbar.
A dump in behind the net, comes out in front, back to the point. Bell across to cut with a wrist shot, and it was blocked. That one stung Roberts. Lee tries to get the cycle game going as Cabral is wrapped right up along the wall. Roberts is trying to dig it loose, and he does. Here's Caden Bell. Spins away from the pressure and flips the puck in. Cameron Warren is back. And you can see that the big guns are doubling up for both sides here now as we move into the final 6 minutes of the third period. Raymond will lug it up to center ice and dumps it in. He gains the red line before getting it in deep. It's Bell back. Bell will turn out from behind the goal, and Caden Bell's going to go for a skate. It's Caden Bell cutting to the middle. Nice move there. Puck went ahead of him, though. Sticks with it, trying to get it out in front. Here's a chance. There's a shot. What a right pad save made by Ciccelli. Desperation, and he comes up with the stop. Both netminders with one for their highlight reel here tonight. It remains a 2-2 game. Here's a shot to the net, and Lagambina will steer it away as Hudson Ciccelli gets a big ovation.
Hudson Ciccelli is lying on his stomach when he finally makes this save as the puck comes into the slot. A great play there by Nicholson, who already has one in the game, but it's Ciccelli on his stomach, throwing up his pad and making the save.
An incredible stop there to match that of Noah Lagambina in the final minute of the second period. Both teams could have had a lead by now. 2-2 the score, less than 5 minutes to go here in the third. And the play gets halted as it was a high stick. 4:53 to go. You look at the Don Mills Flyers bench. Do you see some nervous energy there? Jamie Edwards was pretty calm, cool, and collected when we talked to him before the game.
He was calm, cool, and collected. One of the guys that you can see there on the bench is Peter Green, the captain of the Don Mills Flyers. Played in the first game, got injured, and is just on the bench for moral support of his teammates.
Sullivan coming down the boards. You had a peek at the Junior Canadiens bench, their bench boss, Matthew Viola. Sullivan from the red line, dumping it in. Ciccelli takes it in the glove and will elect to hold on to it with 4:27 to go here in this third period. 33-18 the shots on goal. Hudson Ciccelli, 31 stops to this point.
Ciccelli's been phenomenal in this one, and so have the physical energy of both teams. We noted it off the top that it was going to be a physical affair. Two teams that don't really like each other, and they're showing it here tonight.
Puck from the point, a shot there as Bell was going back and forth trying to find a lane. Warren behind his own net. He's been in that position quite often throughout the course of tonight's game, and it's been a big support for the junior Canadiens in getting out of their own end. Warren trying to get to the puck, got a piece of it. Here's Arda over the line. Arda was trying to drop it back for him. Cameron Warren is there just inside the blue line, and it's taken away by Kuhlman. Alex Kuhlman gives it off. Here's Tyler Lee. Lee glides in, throws it on net. Ciccelli the save. And again, he'll smother it, holding on to the puck.
A little bit of line juggling there for the junior Canadiens, as Warren goes up with Bruce and Arda taking Jax Pereira's spot. We see Ciccelli cover that last opportunity up.
Faceoff's going to be to his right. Lincoln Cumming leans in on the draw against Noah Laus. Taken to the boards by Laus and hammered around by Quain. Kept in the zone. As Caden Bell kept it alive, he'll retreat to his position, and Noah Laus will escape his own end. Here's Laus. His shot off a stick. On the follow-up, the backhander gets it into the pads there of La Gambina. And he'll cover it up. There's a smart play there by Noah Laus to chase down his shot.
Chase down his shot, and any opportunity inside the Don Mills Flyers zone is going to be a cherished one by the junior Canadiens, who haven't had that many scoring opportunities in the second period or the third. They had 11 shots in the first and just 8 in the 2 periods to follow.
False start on the face-off, and Noah Laus is going to be thrown from the draw. So Benjamin Maharaj will come in and take it now. Won cleanly by the Flyers as Cumming won it back. Getting to the puck. That was Wang trying to poke it out of the zone. Bunted down here and taken by Evan Nicholson. Nicholson can't get around Quain at first, and Quain has been very physical in this game, probably be the hits leader in tonight's contest. Will dig away in the corner. It's tied up in his skates with Cabral. Here's a pass into the slot, and it hops over the stick of the intended target, Nicholson. Maharaj is going to chase it down, and Wang hustles back and just slams across ice. Sullivan takes a big hit as he passed the puck ahead. Chong goes back in his own zone. He's hit by Nicholson. Cumming was parked out in front. Back out into the neutral zone. Charlie Murata. Murata curls back at the blue line, passes it off now to Cumming. Cumming for Cut. Cut will find that puck and dump it in deep. Ciccelli leaves it behind the net. And it comes up the boards now to Arda. 2.5 minutes to go here in the third. Pereira dumps it in, using his speed. He chases it down. Jax Pereira on the centering pass. It was blocked. He'll recover. He has it again. Goes cross ice for Chong. Chong off the half boards. Behind the net. Gets the puck here to Tyler Bruce. Bruce back to the point. Quain lets it go. Wide on purpose. And it'll bank down into the near side. Chopped up the boards, but not out. Kept in by Chong. Chong over to Quain. Quain cutting across. Closely guarded. A shot tipped on net. The save made by La Gambina. Chong lets it go, and that one was wide of the goal. Now it's Bruce on the wraparound. Toe save made by La Gambina. The Flyers, under pressure, will get it out. Puck was touched with a high stick. Chong's got to go back and get to it as he was chased down. He is being hassled here. It gets up now ahead to Laus. Noah Laus carrying it up. Dumps that puck in. Roberts is going to go after it now. It's Warren. Warren across. Ishwaran the shot. He scores! Fisher Ishwaran with 1:29 to go. And the junior Canadiens have the lead.
What a time to get the first goal of the OHL Cup for Fisher Ishwaran as he jumps in off the blue line. He's able to find the Cross ice pass from Cameron Warren. What a pass it was from Warren. What a shot from Fisher. 3-2 JRC.
Minute 29 to go. There's the go-ahead goal. 3-2, the lead now for the Junior Canadiens.
With that assist, it gives Cameron Warren the lead for the OHL Cup total points in his minor hockey career.
An incredible run, and gets it across. Part of the Ishwaran go-ahead goal. So now the Don Mills Flyers are in search of the equalizer. They're down one. They pull the netminder. Behind the net, Raymond. He is tied up. 70 seconds to go. 6 on 5. The Flyers get it into the corner. Bell down low, trying to keep that puck in deep. They jam away in the corner. It's played loose towards the front of the net and cleared out by the Junior Canadiens. Will this go for icing? There's enough on it, and it will. 52.4 seconds to go here in the third. We'll see if the Flyers opt to take their timeout with the net empty.
Looks as though they are going to signal for a timeout. A smart play by the coaching staff just to recalibrate after that go-ahead goal from the Junior Canadiens. It's offensive zone draw now, and they're going to have the goalie pulled a 6-on-5 opportunity. They're going to have to capitalize with only 52 seconds left.
Well, we'll see who takes the draw for both sides coming into tonight's game. It was Cumming who had been the best at the dot for the Don Mills Flyers at 54%, but just ahead of Tyler Lee at 52. Meanwhile, for the Junior Canadiens, Jax Pereira, an impressive 64% entering tonight's game, while Cameron Warren 58%. So each team has multiple options here. The Flyers bring La Gambina to the bench. 6 on 5 as they try to tie it up.
The second goal of the game for the Don Mills Flyers came off of a one face-off by Tyler Lee in this exact same situation on the left dot in the offensive zone.
Lee on the draw against Warren. Scramble for the face-off here. Played around the boards. Bell was venturing in a little too deep, and the puck's going to come out. Caden Bell back at center ice, gets the puck off to Mattamy. Mattamy lost it, and Raymond will clear it down. Perfect draw weight on that one. 35 seconds to go. Passed up now. It's Wang. Cross center ice, Mattamy. Charlie Mattamy goes wide. He's cut off. Flipped in deep. Lands in the corner. Edwards let it go by. A battle behind the net. 20 seconds to go. Flyers trying to get anything to the goal. Potential wraparound. They go high. There's a shot. That one was blocked. Follow-up attempt now. Mattamy holds on to it. 9 seconds to go. Towards the net. It was blocked, and it's going to get played loose. The Junior Canadiens a chance to clear, and they'll play it down the ice from the wild card to OHL Cup Champions. The Toronto Junior Canadiens are on top in 2025.
An unbelievable comeback performance by the Toronto Junior Canadiens, and they are OHL Cup champions. Fisher Ishwaran, with a minute and a half left in the game, scores the game winner, his first and only goal of the OHL Cup.
A moment he'll never forget. They don't get much bigger than that. The winning goal in a championship game with under a minute and a half to go. And it just shows it can come from any source.
It comes from a defenseman that had just 4 assists in the game. But what a performance by the goaltender, Hudson Ciccelli. 32 saves on 34 shots. When most of the game was in his own end, he came up big repeatedly.
What a whirlwind of a week for the Toronto Junior Canadiens, as they had to win their way into this tournament on Monday morning, defeating Ottawa 8-2. And after that, going on this magical run, winning this OHL Cup Final 3-2 over the GTHL champions, the Don Mills Flyers, who take nothing away from them. They were a resilient group all season long. Had so many incredible moments. But this one will hit them and hit them hard. A hard-fought game, both sides had their chances, but ultimately the junior Canadiens do prevail. Mark McKelvey, Adrian Musso. Doesn't get much better than that for a championship game, does it?
It really doesn't. With 3 minutes left, I was thinking to myself, it's next goal wins, and with a minute and a half left, the defenseman jumping in the play, and arguably the best player on the junior Canadiens in Cameron Warren saucers a puck from the half boards into the far slot, and he's able to get it up and over the glove. An unbelievable pass, a great shot. What a game we just witnessed.
An incredible performance here tonight. Both teams laying it all on the line. You mentioned it, Hudson Cicelli. What an effort, 32 saves. That stop with about 5 minutes to go, though, is one we will look back on. A save that even he didn't know if he was going to get a piece of it. Couldn't see the puck, just flails the pads out. Usually you stop it with the front. Instead, it was the back of the leg.
It was his back heel that ends up getting it. He's laying on his stomach in desperation mode. He knows he has to get something on the puck that's coming at him. It was a sure goal, not so fast, says Hudson Cicelli.
Well, we got post-game celebrations continuing down on the ice, and multiple presentations coming up, including the tournament MVP, along with the presentation of the OHL Cup, which will be coming from OHL Commissioner Brian Crawford, as the celebration continues on for the Toronto Junior Canadiens. And we'll hand things over now in-house to our PA announcer.
Toronto Junior Canadiens. At this time, we will recognize our Player of the Game awards from both teams. Please welcome, to issue the Player of the Game awards, Director of OHL Central Scouting, Daryl Woodley. The Player of the Game from the Don Mills Flyers, number 8, Evan Nicholson. And the Player of the Game from the Toronto Junior Canadiens, number 33, Hudson Cicelli. Fans, at this time, we will recognize our Gatorade All-Stars from the tournament. The Gatorade All-Star team is represented by the top 3 forwards, top 2 defensemen, and top goalie from this year's OHL Cup Tournament. Presenting the awards, Director of OHL Central Scouting, Daryl Woodley. The top forwards, from the Ottawa Valley Titans, Caden McGregor. From the Toronto Junior Canadiens, Cameron Warren. From the Toronto Junior Canadiens, Noah Louse. The top defenseman, first, From the Don Mills Flyers, Caden Bell. And from the Don Mills Flyers, Charlie Sullivan. And goaltender from the Don Mills Flyers, Noah Lacamina. Fans, one more time for our 2025 Gatorade All-Stars. Fans, it's time for our tournament MVP presentation. Tournament MVP of the OHL Cup is presented with the Tim Adams Memorial Trophy. Tim was a graduate of the GTHL and a longtime coach. Tim was unfortunately taken from us far too soon after a long and courageous battle with cancer. Here to present this year's MVP award are Tim's children and grandchildren, Daniel, Jordan, and Kristen Adams. This year's tournament MVP from the Toronto Junior Canadiens, Cam Warren. It is at this time we will present our 2025 OHL Silver Cup medals to the Don Mills Flyers. Fans, one more time for the 2025 OHL Cup silver medalist, Don Mills Flyers. And now, the 2025 OHL Cup gold medals to be presented to the Toronto Junior Canadiens. Please welcome to accept the OHL Cup Trophy, number 11, Noah Laus.
welcome back to our broadcast location as we look down at the celebrations that continue for the Toronto Junior Canadiens, your 2025 OHL Cup champions. And Adrian, a lot of memories made here tonight for those young men. For a lot of these young men, possibly their last minor hockey game, and they say that it's probably the best time of your life. Talk about what you think's going through their minds there right now. It's just pure elation.
Pure elation. You work 16 years of your life culminating to this moment. And for them, trials and tribulations, changing teams throughout their minor hockey careers, and finally getting onto this Toronto Junior Canadiens team, and with that one goal in mind to be OHL Cup champions. They get booted out of the GTHL playoffs after an upset loss to the Toronto Red Wings. So then now they have to play in a wild card game, and with the one goal of being here on the Friday at the Mattamy Center, they do it. And then with a minute and a half left, an unsung hero in Fisher Ishwaran, his first goal of the tournament, and it's a game winner.
Well, let's talk about the game story here. I mean, this game was just back and forth to start. It looked like two heavyweights that were just going to slug it out from start to finish through the whole 12 rounds. But after this wild start to the game, we would settle into a tight checking game with neither team really wanting to be the first one to make that mistake that was going to lead to the go-ahead goal. You check out the goals early on in this one, and a few of them were just from some turnovers. It felt like both teams maybe had a little nervous energy to start.
Yeah, nervous energy in a game like this is something that should have been known that was going to happen. And 44 seconds in the game, Jax Pereira gets on the scoreboard, and then Tyler Lee ties it up, and Evan Nicholson puts him ahead, and we thought it was going to be a frantic pace back and forth. And then in the first intermission, the coaches went in, settled in their troops, and just told them to play their type of game. And then we get into that tight checking affair, and it was one breakdown defensively for Don Mills that cost them.
You want to talk about game breakers, you talk about Cameron Warren. What a pass there to Fisher Ishwaran for the winning goal. And with those 2 points that he picked up here tonight, we talked about it. He's now the all-time leader for points at the OHL Cup. He played in 2 tournaments. He gets 2 points tonight, now 22 to break the tie, along with Tyler Seguin, Adam Valentini, and William Moore. Pretty good company that he was joining there at the top, that he has now surpassed and put his name into the history book as we take a look at the final totals from tonight's game. Those shots on goal favoring the team that comes up short. Hudson Ciccelli was spectacular in this game. 32 stops, and he is the player of the game tonight for the Toronto Junior Canadiens. I think that was a pretty easy decision, but when you talk about who the player of the tournament was, we talk about it. Big players stepping up in big moments. Cameron Warren did that, and very deserving of the tournament MVP.
Absolutely deserving of his electrifying style of hockey. Every time he gets the puck, you're a little bit on your toes trying to just watch him, and he just seems to get it in through the defenseman, cut through lanes, and he's so electrifying, and he's going to be one of the top 3 picks in the OHL draft.
So Cameron Warren putting himself in some incredible company as well when you talk about past tournament MVPs, including last year's MVP Ethan Belchez, who went on to be the #1 pick in the OHL priority selection. But we're talking about company like Michael Misa, Shane Wright, Connor McDavid. I mean, it's just an incredible list that he joins there. It's a name you will want to remember, and you will remember for a long time in hockey circles, as Cam Warren, the tournament MVP of the 2025 OHL Cup. What a tournament. I said earlier this week on X that this might have been one of the most competitive tournaments we've seen all along, and I think that rings true when you think about the fact that a wild card team comes out on top.
Yeah, and you got to think in their quarterfinal games against the Ottawa Valley Titans, it went to overtime. They're on the brink of elimination, and Caden McGregor and his Ottawa Valley Titans had them, but couldn't get through. And that's resilient effort after resilient effort from this Toronto Junior Canadiens team. You look at other teams that had great tournaments, Little Caesars, and the Alliance showed up in this tournament with 3 great teams, Huron, Perth, Sun County, and Waterloo. the growth of the game in minor hockey has come in full force, and it's a great thing for future talents.
Absolutely. This GTHL final goes to the Toronto Junior Canadiens as they're back on top. U16 AAA hockey as OHL Cup champions. What a fun one here tonight. Fisher Isharan, the game-winning goal with 1:29 to go. Thanks so much for making us part of your Friday night and tuning in for the 2025 OHL Cup. We hope you enjoyed it just as much as we did. Signing off from the Mattamy Athletics Center, and once again, a look at your champs, the Toronto Junior Canadiens.